We're asked to use the following probabilities to answer the question, what is the probability of not B given not A has already occurred? The conditional probability formula is shown below. The probability event 2 given event 1 has already occurred is equal to the probability of event 1 and event 2 divided by the probability of event 1. So looking at the formula, notice how event 1 is the event that has already occurred, which in our case is not A, and event 2 in our case is not B. Applying the formula, the denominator is the probability of not A. The numerator is the probability of not A and not B. And now let's complete the Venn diagram from the given probabilities. Let's begin with the probability of A and B equals 0.25. This would be the overlapping region of set A and set B, which is this region here. From here, the probability of A is equal to 0.35. Notice how this 0.25 is already in set A. 0.35 minus 0.25 is 0.1, which would be this region here. The probability of only A is 0.1. But notice how the probability of A is 0.1 plus 0.25, which is 0.35. Next, the probability of B is equal to 0.4, but notice how this 0.25 is already in B. 0.4 minus 0.25 is 0.15, which would be this region here that represents the probability of only B. But notice how the probability of B is the sum of 0.25 and 0.15, which is 0.4. And then finally, let's find the probability represented by the region outside set A and outside set B. We know the sum of the probabilities is equal to 1, so 1 minus the sum of 0.1, 0.25, and 0.15 is equal to 1 minus 0.5, which is 0.5, which again is the region outside set A and outside set B. In the Venn diagram, let's go ahead and label that here. And now let's use the Venn diagram to determine the probabilities that we need. Let's begin with the denominator, which is a probability not A. Let's highlight the region that represents not A in the Venn diagram. So if this is set A, the region that represents the probability of not A is this region here, shaded in green. This is the region not in set A or outside set A, which again represents the probability of not A. We can find this probability two ways. We can sum 0.15 and 0.5. 0.15 plus 0.5 is 0.65. Or we could take 1 and subtract the sum of 0.1 and 0.25, which gives us 1 minus 0.35 or 0.65. And now let's find the probability in the numerator, which is a probability of not A and not B. Going to the Venn diagram, let's highlight the region that is not in A and not in B. That would be the region outside set A and outside set B, which is this region here, shaded in orange. And we already found this probability earlier. It was 1 minus the sum of 0.1, 0.25, and 0.15, labeled here as 0.5. The probability of not A and not B is 0.5. Let's express this probability as a simplified fraction, decimal, and percentage. Let's first clear the decimals from the fraction by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 100. This gives us 50/65, which does simplify. The numerator and denominator share a common factor of 5. Simplifying, we have 10/13. Let's also express the probability as a decimal and a percentage. Going to the calculator, if we want to check our simplified fraction, we can enter 0.5 divided by 0.65, enter. On the far right, if we click the Convert to Fraction button here, we can see 10/13 is the correct form for the simplified fraction. Click the same button again and we get the decimal. To 4 decimal places, we have 0.7692, which is a percentage is 76.92%. I hope you found this helpful.